Hey, hi, and hello, everybody. Welcome back. This week, we are not doing the Forgotten Ones. We are going back to an old classic at this point, a side story in that same sort of setting, which is the 5e campaign. Let me start again. Sorry, it's been a while. I'm a bit rusty, y'all. Anyways, we're playing The Borrowers, which is a 5e campaign utilizing the Princes of Elemental Evil module, as well as the Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus module, sort of mashed together. Joining me, as always, we have Avis Echo playing Mana.
Did you know that it takes 20 hours to make a single dagger?
Is that so?
It is, actually.
Interesting. Sorry, one moment. Just got a phone call, because apparently my time is never treated. Anyways, we also have Azure Mountain playing Fynn.
Hey, Fynn probably knew that dagger fact, since he's a blacksmith and son of one.
That would make sense. We have Digo Dragon playing Zuri.
Dragons are really just really big kobolds if you think about it.
I mean, that's true. I believe as you referred to her last time, she was a what was it, Dragon 0.5 or something like that?
Yeah.
Now, are dragons really big kobolds, or are kobolds really small dragons?
That's
the first.
Okay.
Questions to be decided by people who know things. Not us. And finally, we have Space Jawa playing Yoga Stonesoul.
Who needs knives when you have fists?
That is true. You are
people with weak fist.
No, that's a good point. Although one could argue the point should be just make your fists stronger then.
Yeah, but then some people don't have fists.
This
when you tape a knife to your wrist.
This is going to get very complicated and very etymologically complex. Sorry, my brain is not at maximum
we have
capacity.
magic. If you lack fist, use magic to get fist.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone can afford that.
How expensive is a mage hand these days? I suppose wizard spells
you gotta learn magic.
That's true. I suppose wizard spells are not cheap. Anywho, where we last left off, our heroes had made their way across Baldur's Gate. They had interacted with the head of the Forebear family, Ruth Forebear, and discovered that she is perhaps not as cheerful and helpful as she initially seemed, having tried to mind control them, put them on a boat, and send them to deities nowhere. Following their miraculous escape, they made their way back into the city proper, where they encountered a strange figure in a cloak who, upon their request, guided the group outside of the city past the Flaming Fist mercenaries who have sort of cracked down on Baldur's Gate. They introduced themselves once they were sequestered as a member of the Order of the Black Earth and said that they were here to try and ensure that the city was not infested with demons. So, how would you like to proceed before this Medusa goes on some kind of rant?
I mean, we're kind of already here, so we might as well listen.
Okay.
I guess.
All right. Okay. So, the Medusa looks at the lot of you and the other gathered people who you can see there are a few who are clearly also members of the Order of Black Earth. You know, they're wearing the same robes that you saw this person wearing. The others seem to be not the same sort. They seem like you, sort of having been not dragon, but brought in from the city proper. And they don't all look as, let's say, adventuring capable as the 4 of you or 5 of you do. So the Medusa begins with a very theatrical bow and says, "Good to meet you all officially. My name is Indrali, and as I said, I am a member of the Order of the Black Earth. I assume the lot of you are familiar with what's been happening outside of the city, yes?"
Are we?
Sure.
just gonna go with it.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with
I mean, Zuri and Yoga are outside hiding.
Ah, yes,
Oh,
that's
sure.
true. I would
So-
say if you want to double check, go ahead and roll history.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, so we have
I'm to ask now. Can Yoga and Zuri hear this stuff from outside?
yes.
Yeah, you
So-
just can't see inside.
So would she be? So would I be able to roll history as well?
Sure.
Bill?
A 3 is not enough.
So I'm gonna say you might have to be a bit more specific.
The Medusa will nod and say, "Yes, well, I'm sure you saw on your way out here the rows and rows of people lining up to just attempt a chance at getting into the city. The tents and beggars and scoundrels alike. These fine folk are fleeing from the destruction of Elturel, the capital of Elturgard, a city much like Baldur's Gate, with unfortunate and unpleasant inner workings.
You think that's where that boat was trying to take us?
I don't think the Medusa is going to respond to that, so...
I'm not asking the Medusa.
I know.
I was whispering that to Mana.
Avis, are you muted?
No, I don't think I am.
Okay, you're
Am
not.
I?
No.
No,
Shit.
because Elturel is just down the river from Baldur's Gate. Quite a ways down the river, but down the river nonetheless. Or I guess up the river.
It'd be up the
But-
river.
It's where the boat was heading, more or less. In that direction.
I'm sorry, I'm having complete mind blanks right now. It's so bad.
No worries.
Yeah.
Probably should have linked the episode for y'all to watch or something. It has been, as stated, like 15 months. It's been a while. We're going to be a bit slow getting back into this.
Yeah, I just watched like the last 5 to 10 minutes of it this morning.
Can you repeat the question? For me, not for Mana, for me.
Right. So on the Sword Coast map, they were just talking about Elturel, the capital of that place. There's a bunch of people fleeing from it,
Mm-hmm.
and Elturel is just up the river from Baldur's Gate. There's one more spot before Elturel on the river, but I was questioning, do you think that's where the boat was going to take us?
It's entirely possible, though I wouldn't guarantee.
And that was just a little
Mhm.
whisper as the Medusa was talking. I forgot her name already.
His name is Zindrali. I will go ahead and
his
put
name,
it. Yeah,
Raleigh. Okay.
there it is in chat. Zindrali continues. There are elements that were in Elturel who sought its destruction for personal, selfish ends. And those same forces have invested parties here in the city. And we, of the Black Earth, feel that it is in everyone's best interest if Baldur's Gate does not fall to the Nine Hells.
Mm-hmm.
There are elements in your city that need to be crushed. Are any of you familiar with the Dead Three?
Is that a roll history?
Yeah, you can roll history there. Or actually, religion would probably be a better one.
Religion. The same, actually.
I actually have points in religion.
Ooh, okay. 11, it's familiar, but you have, it's one of those things of, like, you've heard of the Dead Three, but not really much more than that. Yoga with a 13, you know that it refers to three evil gods, Bane, Baal, and Miracle. And Mana, you know that, yeah, they're not a good group. They're, lot of blood sacrifices, lot of necromancy in the worst possible way. Not a generally good group to be involved in anything.
I want to say two things.
Mhm.
One, I see where all of my rolls are going. And secondly, of course she would know this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're, bad gods.
Yep.
Gods that shouldn't be worshipped. Not like Leviathan.
Leviathan should always be worshipped. You should all worship Lord Swirl and Tide. It's fine.
Mm.
Everything else is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We have gathered you here outside the city in order to find folk that may be able to walk about the city a little more naturally than us, and see if perhaps you can help those who might be sequestered away into the dark to be ritually sacrificed to open the gates to realms that should not be. What would your price be for such a task?
Now, this is a dilemma
Mm-hmm.
out of character. Because, fighting off hordes of evil from the depths of hell or preventing
Mm-hmm.
those hordes from rising, that's like a generic protagonist's job.
Mm-hmm.
But also, these guys are pretty suspicious themselves.
Yeah.
And also money.
And also, you do technically have another job.
Did we get it yet?
Yeah, you have the job to try and hunt down Yuli.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
I
remember-
didn't forget the fact that one of my characters is out for blood from my other.
I remember
Yeah.
that Mana had a personal grudge against Yuli for some reason. I didn't
No.
remember that all of us
No,
were
that's the
on
job.
Fingers. Okay. All right.
I
That's
find it funny.
The,
Because didn't think
Right.
one of my characters hunt down the other.
mm-hmm.
But we're going to try and do things peacefully.
Sure. Peacefully. There's some air quotes there.
Let me rephrase that. Fynn is going to try to do things peacefully
Accurate.
at first.
Mm-hmm.
Violence is the backup option.
For Fynn.
So what you're saying is
Yeah.
you want Yoga to keep a distance.
For now. I guess before we discuss payment, I'd like to hear a bit more about the specifics of the mission, I guess is what it is.
It's rather simple. Me and my associates, as you might guess, are not exactly welcome in the city of Baldur's Gate, but you, being citizens or adventurers alike, are more than welcome to come and go. Or at the very least, the guards will not be quite so harsh on you and your paperwork. We come from Elturel, and we saw the events as they unfolded. And we would like to prevent that from happening here. People are most likely how to phrase this? People are most likely being snatched in the night and carried to some godforsaken crypt to be ritually sacrificed. Demons love blood magic, after all. We would like you to find out who, where, and if possible, stop it from occurring. Any other questions, or was that sort of laid out clear enough?
Yeah, basically just a general investigation.
Pretty much. With the caveat of, if you find them, you might want to kill them.
Yeah. I think I'll have to discuss this with my party first.
Very well. And you can see that some of the others are sort of murmuring amongst themselves as to whether or not they want to participate. Some, the less adventurous among the group are concerned because, like, what can we do aside from, like, keep watch of things? And the more adventurous are like, I don't know if I like dealing with cults. I don't know if I like dealing with one cult to stop another cult, perhaps.
That's another thing. Insight, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Insight. Bad rolls today.
With a 9, I'm going to say... With a 9, I'm going to say... and a 7.
Nope, there we go.
I'm going to say that the vibe you get is that they're not giving you the full truth. Yoga, you have a better understanding of. They are very much going to get something out of this, but the desire to see this group removed is genuine. Like Zindrali is being 100% honest in, I would like to not see this city ruined by demons and devils.
But the flip side is the reason they don't want it to be ruined by demons and devils because they want to rule it themselves.
I was
Maybe.
gonna say.
Anyway, let's take a brief step outside real quick
Okay.
and discuss it with
The rest of everyone.
party. Except in secret. It'll just look like the three of us are talking to ourselves, but then also the other two are there too.
Mm-hmm.
And then Yoga's like either hiding on the roof or something.
Well, you're one of the other two.
Yeah. Yoga.
Well,
and-
yeah, I'm just.
So you guys could be wherever as long as you can somehow participate in the discussion without being seen.
I think it's easy enough. I think Zindrali and the others are dealing with plenty as is.
Well, not being seen may not be so much a trouble as not being heard.
I mean, that's what I mean is I think y'all don't have to worry about stealth in this case.
Okay.
Y'all stealthed enough on the way in.
Let's hear everyone's thoughts.
Okay. I'm assuming you mean besides lunch.
Specifically, thoughts about this mission that we were just requested to do.
Well, Yoga's thought boiled down to, okay, we break this cult, and if it turns out it helps the cult, this other cult, then we break that cult too.
Okay. So Yoga just wants to punch things.
I mean, the other
Got it.
cult is presumably something that I'm trying to murderify anyway, so.
Okay. Now, how about payment? Because they did say to name our price.
As high as you can go before they say no.
Well, how high is high? I can think of a high number.
Well, then say that, and when they get uncomfortable, make it lower in increments of 1,000.
Well, tell us and we'll tell them. We could also ask for something other than money, like items or something.
Information.
I will say the previous session demonstrated that this group seem to know quite a bit about the crushing wave.
All right, so we're gonna do this mission in exchange for information on the crushing wave.
I think so. If that's what you want, you can do that. I don't know why I said I think so. I'm not involved in this negotiation.
You're the other side of the negotiation.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dungeon Master.
I would also like some information on the whatever the fire group is.
The Flaming Fist Mercenaries, or
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Was there another fire group?
I mean, perhaps. Not one that I think you've encountered.
Okay. But the Flaming Fist Mercenaries are the ones that are, like, entrenched in the guards of the city and have Yuhan's swords and whatnot.
Correct.
Handiworks.
Yeah, that's correct.
Which kind of let that thread go when Mana decided to go run off by herself. And then I chased after, or we chased after. Anyway.
Okay. All right. If that's it, then yeah, you're good to go back inside and officially begin negotiations.
So yeah. I guess we'll do the mission in exchange for information on the crushing waves and whatever other groups are inside of this city.
The Zendrali will nod and say, "A most amenable agreement. Are you sure there's nothing else we can give you?"
What else do you have to offer?
Coin, items, power. There are many riches hidden within the earth, and we have access to so much of it.
Well, I've already got a good sword and a good shield.
Coin isn't bad, but information is fairly important.
I don't know if we have any coin. If we do, I'm not keeping track of it.
I think y'all get a stipend from the borrowers, so I think you're probably fine.
Yeah, fine on coin.
Well, here, if I may
Depends
offer
on
a suggestion, it could be a favor to be determined at a later point.
I don't know.
I think info and money is pretty decent.
I'm curious about the items that they have, but I
Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I insist. You first. You said you had. It seemed you had a fuller sentence to go through.
Not really. Just that I don't think I have any sort of appraisal ability as Fynn,
Mm-hmm.
so I won't be able to tell if it's a cursed item or whatnot.
Zindrali will say, unfortunately, our items are not here, but if you had something in mind that you might require, a weapon or perhaps some sort of trinket, I am certain that we can find it for you.
I think information will be fine.
Very well. You succeed in this job for us, and you will have all the information we can give you.
Now, is that said in an ominous tone, or?
No, I mean, this person. It's like
All right.
this. It strikes you that that Zindrali could say like, "We're having breakfast later," and it would be ominous for no reason. It just sort of seems to be the default of talking to a Medusa who is in a cult of some kind.
Okay. Well then. Will you be finding us when we complete the mission, or will we have to find you?
We can do whatever works best for you, but as stated, the city, it is difficult enough for us to move about the city without expending some precious resources, so we will try to avoid entering when possible.
So should we just return here upon completion?
Sure.
We'll play it by ear. You never know how something's going to end.
Yeah, that was the
All right.
sort of idea. Okay. Do you have any other tasks? Boy, we're getting a lot of awkward silences today. I think we might be a little
We
off.
are, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
We are rusty. I'm going to say that. I apologize. And my offness is probably not helping. Okay. So, is there anything else you'd like to ask either Zindrali or check amongst the other people here in the hut?
You have any leads whatsoever?
As far as leads are concerned, they've largely been striking in the lower city, but very, very occasionally they have hit someone in the upper city in the nobles' districts. So perhaps there's something there, or perhaps somewhere in town a beggar or a thief has seen something they were not supposed to.
All right.
All right, so what's the battle plan, y'all?
Lower city.
I guess we're gonna investigate.
All right.
Yay.
Okay.
Or, just general perception.
That could also theoretically work, depending. Okay. Let me make sure I have my dice tower up so that I can make rolls that are hidden. Where's my settings?
Okay, idea. What if one of this party were to pretend to be the kind of person the cult might be looking for?
But we don't know what type of person the cult is looking for in the first place. So,
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah,
I'm just making a roll. Could y'all see that?
I saw
shadow.
shadow.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
Here's a hidden roll for you.
Okay.
Well,
Has absolutely no significance.
are you trying to intimidate me, sir?
And if I am,
Ooh.
It didn't work. It's not
all right. I can't see the roll either, so
Yeah, it's an 8. Okay.
yeah, I've got a 0 for.
okay, so yeah, they said there's
Alas.
no. It was said that there's really no indication on what kind of people the cult is looking for. Then it's just wide range.
Yeah, they're you
Just
know,
that.
you would think it was like people who wouldn't be missed, except they grabbed someone from the nobles district, and everyone there is someone who would be missed.
Mhm.
Are we
so-
sure about that?
Someone who would get someone would be paid to try and track down what the hell happened.
All right. Okay. So I roll in perception. I like perception. I
Perception.
keep getting less than 10.
It's a good thing you've got double proficiencies.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Zuri, would you like to roll proficiency or not? Perception?
Roll proficiency.
Hold on, I'm just gonna go scream in a cup for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled a 6 just to make Fynn feel better.
Thanks.
All right. So we got a 14, 2 15s, and a 17. Okay. So the information that you can gather from a sort of general perception check once you're back inside the city, which does get you slightly accosted by the Flaming Fist mercenaries who are running the entry and exit to the city, but it's no different than what you got a few days ago.
Well, I think Yoga and Zuri got outside the wall by climbing over it. Could they do the
Yeah.
same thing again?
You could, yes.
All right, so Mana and Fynn have to be accosted.
Mana, Fynn, and Barrel. Yep. But
Yeah.
fortunately,
Ellie's fine.
not too much different than what you were doing beforehand. So you're all good in that regard. The merc's just annoyed that you're trying to come in kind of later in the day. It's okay. So with those rolls, what you gather is that there is sort of a as the sun is beginning to set, there is sort of a hushed tone that sort of falls over crowds and whatnot. People start to move a little bit faster, hold their things a little bit closer, and move further away from alleyways, sort of isolated zones, towards areas with, people. You still spot the occasional pickpocketing, the occasional brawl being broken out in the streets by a couple of drunkards, but largely it just seems that everyone is nervous, and it's difficult to tell if that's because of the kidnappings or if it's because of the Flaming Fist merc patrols that are kind of wildly unusual. Things just seem off in the city. But you don't, unfortunately, spot anything that indicates someone being kidnapped. Not in a sort of general search through the lower city.
I have an idea, but it's also one of those ideas that is a time thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, by default, stupid.
I mean, those are always fun.
Yeah, but it's also boring. So it's boring stupid.
Oh.
What-
Okay.
What's the idea?
Basically,
Man.
basically putting ourselves out there as the type of person who would get accosted and just wandering around.
So what I suggested?
Yeah.
Well, I was about to suggest just Yoga starts going down random alleyways.
Yeah, I'm sure that a couple of cultists are gonna see a 7-foot tall half-orc and go, yeah, we can take her.
I can disguise myself as something.
Yeah, I feel like in this case, if
Palatable.
we're going with that, Mana or Zuri would probably be maybe, or Beryl. One of those three.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm heavily armored, and Mana is very tall and buff.
Yoga is very tall and buff.
Right. Yoga is very tall and buff. Fynn is
I
also fairly tall and very heavily armored.
am a full caster. I look squishy.
Mm-hmm.
And despite that, you're kind of not.
Yeah, no, I'm terrifying. I am actively terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to look pathetic for a bit? Sure. Am I gonna like it? No. Am I gonna do it anyway? Sure.
Yeah. I also just noticed that I have a passive perception of 20.
Yeah, your passive perception is gnarly. Nobody can get a jump on you, but not necessarily. Like when you're looking for stuff, you're not necessarily going to get it.
Yeah.
So, so is that the choice? You're gonna have one of the smaller party members sort of disguise yourself?
Can.
Yeah.
All right. Who's it gonna be? Probably not
Me.
Beryl, because Beryl not here, but I mean Beryl is here in game, but not the player. Anyway.
I mean, we could put it on Zuri, being the smallest and most vulnerable.
I do have a hat of disguise to make it even better.
You do.
Me.
Mana also keeps
volunteer
saying
for
that
you.
we should use her.
I know.
Kind of quietly, but
You mean the individual who said wouldn't be happy about it?
Listen, you do a lot of things that you're not happy about anyway.
All right. I mean, yeah, there is the hat of disguise. That is a thing that
I mean,
Zuri has.
there's nothing saying you can't both do it.
That's true.
They
Might-
can both do it.
It might be better to split up. Try for 2 different places at once.
Yeah, double the odds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Zuri goes one way, Mana goes the other, and then you split up Yoga and Fynn.
Yeah.
All right. Who's going with who?
Good question.
Well, seeing as Yoga has already done stuff like carry Zuri around today, Yoga will just continue sticking with the little
All right.
All right.
kobold.
Spin's going with Mana then.
All
Now,
right.
what about Beryl?
I think Beryl's gonna. Let me double check what Swest said real fast, because I talked with her earlier. She's gonna head back to the tavern for a little while. Since
I was thinking,
yeah,
wondering.
since y'all aren't gonna, since you're not leaving the city for a little bit, and you're all needing to go sort of the same way, she's gonna take a break for the tavern. Since it's becoming nightfall, probably best to try and make sure that y'all have some rooms somewhere. So
Right. That's nice.
yeah,
Despite having just met like today or the day before.
well, you're all part of the same organization, so
Yeah.
Borrowers has a not the strictest entry requirements, but generally speaking, you can trust someone if they're a part of your group. Okay, so
For extra effect, Yoga is going to hide from an elevated position.
all right, makes sense. Let's see here. I would like a performance check from Zuri and Mana.
Performance.
Can I offer you a deception check?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Deception will also work for either. So if you want to change that performance to a deception, you can.
Well, if it's deception, I have a +10 in that.
I'm happy I asked for that. Granted, it still would have been. Actually, no, it would not have been because I have a 5, so it would have been a 9. No, it is not.
So did you want to change your roll, Zuri?
I mean, yeah, the deception's, I guess, higher if you
Mhm.
want to take the +10 rather than the +2.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. So do you want to just go with a 27 then as the roll?
25, yeah.
Or 25? Well, yeah.
I'll take a 25.
25 and a 13. Okay. All right. You both sort of make yourself look, I guess forgettable would be the term. Alone and vulnerable. And where I would like you to, if possible, make a point on the Baldur's Gate map where you think you would be to do this performance. Roughly how far away from the river or etc. and each other.
2 halves of the lower city.
We're in the lower city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 2 instances of it. Separated by the bay.
No, the lower city has a thin stretch going along the wall of the upper city. You can see it right here. Like the lower city is on the other side of, or on the right side of that line I just put down. There's a wall sort of separating the two.
Then what's that? Is that still lower city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can see the harbor has like a section that sort of like follows, and you can see those little like circles with lines next to them. Those are the walls of the upper city that separate it from the bay adjacent areas of the lower city. There's no part of the upper city that touches the harbor directly, is what I'm getting at.
Right.
Okay, so who is there? Is that
The
Mana?
square is me.
all right? So Zuri, where are you in relation? Are you in the same sort of vicinity of the lower city, or are you on the opposite side?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if we were planning this. Do we want to be near each other?
Well,
I mean,
you're
we
splitting
split
up,
up.
so I wouldn't think so.
Okay. I don't know. I almost forgot how to put things down, but I put a circle, and it looks like underneath elf song, so we'll just throw it there.
Oh, okay. It's hard to see because of the black
It's,
dice.
Yeah, that's the color.
I didn't change my color.
No worries, no worries. I just didn't notice it at first. Okay, so there and on the far side of the lower city. Okay. So great news. Both of you have been selected for a business opportunity.
Ooh.
Zuri, approaching you from the far end of the alleyway you have found yourself in, are 3 hooded figures holding what appear to be 50 feet of rope and some kind of cloth you assume is supposed to be a gag.
Dear.
And Mana, what you are seeing is a very large figure in a cloak jumping off of the roof of a building to land behind you.
Shit, is that
Jerks.
Batman?
Jerk stole Yoga's move.
I'm feeling some deja vu. The character of mine being accosted by someone infinitely larger than her.
I apologize.
No, don't. It's funny.
Okay. Now, I'm sure we discussed this before. We didn't actually, but let's assume we did. Call for help if you need help.
Yeah, that would make
Well,
sense.
I would think that if anything, Fynn has. What did I fucking name this thing? I know I named it.
Closet.
No, it's Pseudo Dragon now, because
Changed it back.
yes.
Okay.
I apparently did not name it. That is very unlike me.
Pseudo dragon, closet, pseudo dragon.
I would have named it. I like naming familiars. I'm surprised I didn't name it.
I think you did have a name for it, but I think it was in Draconic was the problem.
But I would have had something that I would have been calling it. I just don't know what it was. Damn, that's upsetting.
I think you might have
Anyway.
named it in the first session, and I didn't rewatch that one.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Regardless, Fynn would have it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I can't really follow very closely. I'm very bad at stealth.
And sorry, I'm reading. I forget what. I'm pretty sure I have this invocation because I always take it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes,
I
I
had
do
a very
have
moment. I had a very momentary thought of saying, okay, what if we let them take the party members a distance to get an idea of where they're going? But then I realized, what are the odds they have some way of covering their tracks? And
Yeah, that's the question. Do we let them get taken to the hideout, or do we beat them up and try to get information out of them?
So
Oh, these
I
people are
realized
getting
that-
stabbed. It's not a
I
question
realized-
for me.
Okay.
I fully realized that this is entirely why I always take this invocation. Voice the Chainmaster lets me communicate telepathically with my familiar, perceive its senses, and lets me speak through it,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of where I am, as long as we're on the same plane.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So if you feel the need to, you can totally ditch me because I can talk to you, and you have a one-way radio to me.
Well, I'll leave that to you.
And that would have been discussed. It would have been brought up
Yeah.
that if you felt the need, I will be able to relay where I am and what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it to your discretion, but if you think you're in danger and need help, I will. If you ask me to help, I will help.
Mana would probably be the easiest person to say that she needs assistance because of the pseudo dragon.
Yeah. So
then in Zuri's case, though, probably a case of, that once there's the opportunity to move in.
Yeah,
I mean, sounds like Zuri's stabbing.
Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm remembering this, I feel like it almost would have been better to push the two of you to follow Zuri because you need to keep an eye on her, because if she's gone, she's gone. Whereas Mana, if she's gone, she can still give you information and you can still somehow try and find her. It's easier.
I wouldn't be surprised if Zuri had some sort of ability as an escape artist.
Well, and there's also the fact that once they discover, oh no, it turns out that she's not by herself, are they going to still try and take her, or are they going to be focused more on fleeing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an important point.
Well, it depends on how high your intimidation roll is, I'd say.
I'll note I haven't made y'all roll initiative yet, so
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my plan was for Yoga's opening move to be wait until, they're sufficiently in the alley, then she would basically drop to Goomba Stomp the one in the back.
okay.
So it's like,
Pincer maneuver.
Pincer maneuver.
yeah, and basically then the two of them are trapped in their Zuri. It goes from Zuri being trapped in there with those three to those two being trapped in with Zuri and Yoga.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense. Okay. So is that what you would like to do? Is that half of the team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Stomp and stab.
Makes sense. Mana and Fynn, what is your plan?
Here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if you get knocked out? Or are otherwise unconscious?
In what sense?
In the sense that you are not able to actively think
That you don't have to
and
worry about.
provide orders to your familiar. Because there is a chance that they knock you out, take you to their place, and you don't know where it is.
This is true.
Unless you have some sort of homing beacon that your familiar can follow to get to you. Like some sort of soul tether or something.
Or she has the ability to cause an explosion so that everybody knows where she is.
I mean, I do have that.
Boom. There she is.
We know that if I need to be found, and the
Mm-hmm.
damages are not a problem.
No.
That's not a problem.
And she will she will be able to claim self-defense entirely.
I can click self-defense.
So I guess it sounds like Mana's gonna get carried off.
All right. And what's Fynn going to be doing then?
Following from a distance via the directions of the familiar.
Stealthily.
From a distance that I don't need to be stealthy.
Fair enough.
Like 4 city blocks.
So, question. When you communicate through your familiar, is your normal body silent?
Based on what I heard earlier, you can communicate telepathically, but you can also use the familiar, speak through your familiar in your voice.
Okay.
Question is then, do you have to actually talk out loud in your thing? Because I feel like it's not the case.
It doesn't specifically say that.
Okay.
I feel like it should be
Since it's
fine then.
telepathically, I'd almost want to say it would make sense for not having.
You don't have to
really
speak.
talk.
Yeah. Only
You
one
can
body
speak
has
through
to
your
speak.
familiar instead of your own mouth.
Okay. Yeah. That's how it read to me. I just wanted to double check that I wasn't misremembering something.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, Yoga, Zuri, go ahead and roll initiative. And
Could I roll anything for the initial surprise attack first, or
I would say roll an unarmed strike of some kind.
so the general
With advantage, because who would expect that?
And how high up are you? Do you get extra bonus damage from gravity?
The answer is almost assuredly yes. It would.
So what
Fun,
am I
Devin.
just rolling what? I mean, so what am I rolling then? Since should I just roll a basic 20?
Roll an unarmed strike. Is that somehow not on your sheet?
It should be on your action section of your sheet.
Apparently it's not. That's
I have
No.
dart
No.
and quarterstaff.
okay.
I see.
Uh,
You could use the quarterstaff, I assume.
Mhm.
Just like
Well, see, the thing is, I mean, if it's like she'd be aiming, I don't know if it can be pulled off mechanically, but the idea would be, drop on the other two and then reach forward and try and bop the heads together of the two guys.
I mean,
I don't know if it's.
I mean, you can go for it. It's just it's a complicated set of moves. Is all I'm getting at.
I mean, I recognize that, but she's going for fun and style points.
Yeah. All right. So give me a moment.
I think an unarmed strike though is just a d20 plus your strength plus your proficiency if you're proficient with unarmed strikes.
Yeah. For you, it
No,
would be Dex because of monk. So
Right, and
D-
monks also have their own die for unarmed strikes too, don't they?
yeah, for the damage.
Right, right.
So I would say roll a d20 plus 2 plus your proficiency modifier, which is at
All right,
level
so
4. So
+4.
so that's a +6.
yeah, it's a d20 plus 6. And let me double check something.
I have so many stat bonuses as Fynn.
Mhm.
The only ability that I don't have a bonus in is charisma.
Charisma.
That's still at a +0.
I mean, it doesn't.
Rad.
It just shows for a +2 and a +5. So
If you- On the modifier, if you just
Oh,
click on
there.
that and type +7, or
Okay.
yeah, +6, I mean.
Okay, so yeah. Right, so that's the proficiency plus
Dexterity, yeah.
no the deck. Well, I mean, if I'm making dexterity roll, that would already take care of it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I suppose that would.
Okay, so that would be so I just add the 4 for the proficiency, and then the d20 would take care of the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Wow.
nat 20.
Nice. Don't even need to roll the advantage.
Okay.
that's
Get
what
any
the,
better
that's
than
what
that.
that's what the +2 is. That's where we were getting 6.
Yeah, from your
So
dexterity.
it's a 29.
No?
No, it's a 27.
Advantage
No,
is
I'm-
just you roll twice.
Oh, well, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I was okay. So that's not. So the advantage wasn't what +2 for. It's just
No.
No, the +2 is your dexterity.
Okay,
All
I
right.
misunderstood.
Let me double check something real fast. All right, Yoga Stonesoul, martial arts. I have to go to the monk table.
Yeah. Now you
Monk-
could also add unarmed strike as a weapon in your action page.
All right. I would like you to go ahead and roll 3d6.
All right.
Thirteen damage. You knock out one guy instantly. The
Nice.
the guy you land on is just he's gone.
All right, and then I can make one armed strike as a bonus action
Mm-hmm.
for martial arts.
You sure can.
So then I could try that move where then, while the two other guys have no idea what's going on, grab their heads and bang them together.
Mm-hmm.
So would that be another unarmed strike move, or what do I do?
That feels a little more. I would guess grapply to me is what it sounds more like. So go ahead and roll a strength roll. You can go ahead and add proficiency to it.
So just raw strength plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, advantage is gone at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, I presume as much, but, it doesn't hurt fast.
And they're both going to try and duck out of the way. Nope! That's a 6 and a 4. They do not save against your grapple, so go ahead and roll, let's say, in this case, 2d6. And it'll be the damage to both of them. Sorry, my dogs are freaking out. I gotta go for a second.
All right.
While he's doing that, I'm going to take a brief moment, and I will be right back as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Make sure to let him know.
All right. Meanwhile, Fynn has stopped by a tavern to get a drink.
Some murderous
Except not
yoga.
really. That's not canon.
What is canon?
I think they have them on ships.
I think they've had them on the top of walls too.
Sometimes.
Sometimes in castles.
Could also use ballista.
Also siege weapons.
Yeah, like trebuchets and catapults.
Yeah.
Speaking of catapult, that's a spell that I have.
It's an underrated spell, I've realized.
Yeah. Good, especially when you use it at level 2 and the DM allows you to catapult a lance and add the lance's damage on top of the bludgeoning damage that is already part of it.
Yeah.
So is that the spell you throw things with?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good spell. I like it. It's nice because you could, if you're like in a place that's got a lot of stuff around, like a tavern, you're not running out of stuff to throw.
Okay, I'm back now.
All right, welcome back. Dinn's not back yet.
I would have fonder memories of it, but
Yeah.
people I learned things from, but
But yes, catapult is basically my secret weapon.
Mhm.
Basically, it's like a railgun with my lance, which is my bonded weapon, so I can just get it back immediately.
So it's like Thor throwing his hammer around.
Kinda.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I can only use it with my lance as a level 2 spell. Because a lance is more than 5 pounds. And at level 1, you can only lift up to 5 pounds. But a lance is 6 pounds, so you gotta use a level 2 spell.
How much more do you lift with each successive level?
Sorry
up?
about that. FedEx was stopping by for a delivery, and my dogs do not like delivery people.
Up to 5 pounds per level.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that does not finish them off, Yoga, but they are dazed now. So Zuri, you have a chance to go before they recoup.
All right. I will pull out a pair of daggers, and I'm going to. Well, I'm not going to try to kill them. Try to use my dagger, pull a punch, and do it like non-lethally.
Like hit him with the blunt end.
Yeah, or the pommel.
The
end or
pommel.
something.
That's what I meant by blunt end.
I have great news. Pack tactics. An ally is within 5 feet, so you have advantage on on any rolls.
All right. Oh,
On the opposite side of them, no less.
Uh-huh.
Does sneak attack only apply when the character is behind?
Sneak attack is as long as you have advantage.
Yep.
Or if you got an ally in combat with them and you don't have disadvantage.
Correct.
So, do I hit with a 24?
You definitely hit with a 24.
Okay. So, first damage and the sneak.
That body
Knock him out.
That body hits the pavement like a sack of wet bricks. So he is gone.
Yeah, like maybe hold back a bit on the next one. They have less than 13 health.
Yeah,
okay.
They're not.
I can only sneak attack once.
I realize it's not necessary, but I just remembered the guidance thing and how much more silly it would have been to add that on top of the nat 20 for the drop.
17 is still a hit.
Okay. This one's just going to be a tiny little damage. A pinprick.
Tiny stab.
Indeed.
Great news.
It is.
Due to the earlier damage caused by Yoga smacking the heads together, that's still enough.
Flawless victory.
Yep. So you knock out the 3 of them easy.
And the fun part is we can now use their own rope to tie them up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yay. Free
A
rope.
whole 50 feet of it.
A whole 50 feet of rope. They were probably not going to use all that rope on Zuri, but you can only
What
buy
other
it.
gear? What are we looking at? What other gear are they carrying?
They seem to be pretty bare as far as gear concerns. It seems like these were the guys who were largely just supposed to.
Connected or?
Yeah, can you hear me?
So they're bears in cloaks.
Grizzly.
Jawa, can you hear us?
Getting a red.
Uh oh. Yeah, sounds like your connection's messed up.
Yeah.
Can you? Yep, I can hear you. You just sound kind of far away.
Okay.
I mean, he asked the information, so I gotta make sure that he can hear it. So, guess we gotta wait. Sorry.
Hello.
Hi, we're still here.
Hey.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. I think I had. Yeah, I think I got my channel out or something. So,
Yeah, sounds like a
Yeah.
Wi-Fi issue of some kind.
Yeah, we're saying I am up.
Okay. Basically, these. It seems like this small group of people were the ones that are more just about grabbing people and getting them out of getting them to whatever location they're aiming for. Not really much for combat. Not going after like adventurers, it would seem. There's just basically there's the rope, there's the gag, there's a few bottles of some weird chemical you can't identify, and like 2 daggers between the 3 of them.
Yoink.
Okay, so we can give the 2 daggers to Zuri, and Yoga can take the bottles to investigate later.
Okay.
The halfling death has been doubled.
Oh no.
Ah.
All right, let me
Yep.
go ahead and just add 2 more daggers to your bag of daggers, your baggers.
Oh my gosh.
Daggers.
Daggers.
Wow.
As a side note, not something to worry about now, but probably worry about putting a bunch of stuff in Yoga's bag of holdings so that it doesn't look like she's just carrying all this stuff on her rather than.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just had.
Yoga's bag of daggers.
Yeah, I just
All
had.
Zuri needs to do is multi-class to Necromancer, and then you can have an army equipped with daggers.
Mm.
Dagger zombies.
Or she could get some
Daggers.
pets and train them to
Daggers.
wield daggers in their mouths.
Dagbees?
Or like little cats that carry daggers around in their mouths.
Cats and dags.
Daggers?
Anywho, clearly the only correct answer is birds.
Yes,
got-
death from above.
You got to give a bunch of birds a swords, as we all learned from Magic the Gathering circa 2003, I think. I don't remember when
Form of knife.
I do not remember when Cawblade was a thing, but it was a thing. Might have been 2012, not 2003. Anyway,
Okay, so yeah, throw those mystery bottles in the bag of holding and
Yep.
figure them out later.
Okay,
Probably there's some kind of poison or incapacitating fluid.
possibly.
Sounds like chloroform, but I don't think we would know what that is.
Probably
'Cause-
not offhand.
Well, Fynn might be a generic isekai protagonist. As far as we know, he's not actually from another world.
Mm-hmm. But also, chloroform isn't from another world, so like, it's a thing you can just make.
But he's also from the countryside,
Mhm.
so...
Countryside is another world. What are you talking about?
yeah.
Sorry, the idea of like, moving to the city from the country, or the country from to the country from the city, and treating that as like an isekai thing is really funny to me. Yeah, my dad got a new job, so I got isekai'd.
Called Persona 4.
I suppose you're not wrong.
That sounds like something that a like some sort of nerd would try and play up at.
Persona 5. Hey!
Hey! Anywho, so that covers that trio. Mana, a very large person has just landed behind you. What would you like to do?
Oh.
Slowly descend to the ground and curl into a ball.
You can play up how helpless she is.
I mean, yeah, because the idea is to find out where they're going. So we're going internally. We're screaming,
Mm-hmm.
but externally,
You're screaming?
we are attempting to look petrified, not scream, because in the situations, it is actually fairly hard to scream when you're scared.
Mm-hmm. In that case, the figure is gonna say, "Hope you don't mind. Just gonna make sure," and clamps their rather large hand over your mouth and nose to ensure that if you do suddenly find the ability to scream, you won't really have much choice.
We'll do those typical struggles, because
Mhm.
not doing anything would have been super sus.
Sure would have.
But yeah, making it almost clear that he absolutely could overpower us, even though we
Mhm.
all know what would really happen in actuality
Correct.
when I have the moment.
Oh
It
You
will
yeah.
probably
happen.
have a hole inside of him
You
by
could
the end.
You can send him to the bottom of the ocean.
I could.
That too.
I probably will too.
Probably. But for
And then
now,
have to apologize because he's probably disgusting.
he can be a large accosting figure, and that's it. If I will say this, he is attempting to knock you out by limiting your ability to breathe. So, is there something you'd like to do to maybe avoid that so that you can give the information? Or are you just gonna let it happen and see if you can figure out where you end up later?
Is there a possibility that I
Could fake being
could
knocked
just
out?
make it seem like, fake being knocked out, so he stops early and I'm just not doing anything?
Now,
Sure.
is that deception or performance?
Pity.
A
It's
12.
pity. That's what it is.
A 12, huh? Alright, what's this
It's
guy's...
pity.
Now, would he be using perception or investigation?
I think it
Or
would...
insight?
I think it would be a sort of general wisdom save, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
So, oh, he rolled high.
Am I sad? I'm upset.
He is going to at your attempts at going limp, he's going to lift your body up and climb back up to the rooftops. And then you hear him say, "Better make sure." And he holds you over the edge of the roof. It's about a 20-foot drop. Do you react?
No. I just think about how I'm going to eviscerate him later.
Okay. He lets go. Do you react?
Nope.
I
I'm
can only
going all in on this, Jen.
I could only imagine the internal levels of screaming happening right now.
Oh, there's a lot of them. Enough to make a
yeah.
certain sea serpent proud of screeching.
We are. I want to help, but we already decided I wouldn't
Nope.
move unless you told me to.
There's probably a quick hiss in your ear of "Don't you dare!"
I'm not. I'm staying my hand.
The large figure
Just as a reminder.
the large figure catches your body before you actually fully leave the roof. It was an attempt to scare you, to see if maybe that would do it. Because this person has, for lack of a better word, choked out enough people to know that it doesn't happen that quickly. But the fact that you have put on this much of a show, at the very least, is giving him enough pause to think it might be true. So,
To be fair, it might not be due to lack of oxygen, but they might have just been shocked into passing out.
But he hasn't. I don't think this particular person has experienced it that much. So,
Yeah.
Regardless, the figure will shrug and say, well, I suppose that's good enough. And will leap across the rooftops towards the Chanthar River, taking your body with it. Okay.
That river is south of us, or are they going east?
They're heading sort of... let me make a pointer. They're heading towards this area.
Okay.
So...
Well, I guess I follow from a distance.
Okay. Well, we will cut back to that in a moment then. So, Zuri and Yoga, what are y'all doing?
I have named my daggers. and
Excellent.
I've- yes.
Excellent.
No, Stabatha, Point Dexter, Edgeworth, and Sir Slashley.
Nice.
All right, so I guess we tie up these goons, and where do we take them now? That's a good question. I don't think we thought about where we were taking them.
Are we able to carry them all?
Sorry. It was Stabatha, Point Dexter, Edgeworth, and what was the last one again?
Sir Slashley.
All right, thank you. I have added their names to your bag. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I got them all down. But yes, you have them tied up. So what is step 2? And because we all know what step 3 is, profit.
Yes.
I thought step 4 was profit.
Step 3 is profit. Step 4 is more profit.
Okay.
Five
I
is
presume
extra
that
profit.
that all three of them are too heavy to be carried.
You could carry one of them, but not all three. Not all tied together like that. You could drag them through the street. Don't know how good that would be for their health, but you could do it.
Well, the concern is less their health and more are people going to look at this suspiciously and.
I think it will be difficult to do this without getting the attention of either the normal city watch of Baldur's Gate or the Fire Fist mercenaries.
Good point.
Right, that's the. So
Let's see.
wait, so I.
Hmm?
So drag them. Drag them about as. Is this an alley with an endpoint?
No. Most of the alleys in Baldur's Gate lead back out into streets. There's very few alleyways that are purely dead ends.
Okay, so I suppose there's nothing on the three to indicate one is in charge.
No, they don't seem to be a group with any kind of distinct hierarchy.
So there's really nothing here to indicate which one of them might have the most information.
Yeah, nothing you could see.
Okay. Zuri, have any particular ideas?
Take one and turn in the rest. I honestly don't know. I didn't think this far ahead.
Who would they be turned into?
Oh, I don't know. City Watch? I mean, they probably would have fun with a cultist.
What, like take them out for drinks?
Yeah, sure. Let's take them out for drinks. Hey, buddy. You wanted to just join your cult? How about we just take you out for some nice cold drinks at the local tavern?
So what else?
I hear the
Is
coldest drink in the, I hear the coldest drink in the city is the Chanthar River.
Hey,
So-
that's an idea.
In this, so is there anything of particular of note in the alleyway, or is it a pretty empty alley?
It seems pretty empty. The fact that all of that noise you just made knocking them out didn't attract any attention is a bit weird, but you assume that everyone's kind of on edge.
No, I mean, like in a modern day alley, you'd have stuff like garbage cans and dumpsters and other refuge possibly hanging around.
I mean, yes, there's trash here, but there's trash kind of everywhere.
But
There-
there's no like crates or anything that are being held around.
No, this is not.
Chalk to write a note?
Nowhere for anybody to really hide.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a dumb, silly idea, but is it possible to take two of them, take them up to the roof and leave them to just lay there tied up, or is that infeasible?
I mean, if you want to
Carry
make
them up.
if you want to make the effort to do that, you could. You could Spider-Man them. It would be difficult, but you could do it.
Well, it's going to be a lot easier for Yoga since she has her spider silk shoes.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah,
Or
I
spider climbing.
I think if you want to tie up two of them on the roof, you absolutely can do that.
Okay, and then and we got tie those. So is there any? Yeah, we got Is there anything of no? I mean, what of note is there about the three of them? Just or do you just have three goons written down?
Basically just three goons written down, but what you see is that they are it's two humans and an elf. So the group is a little diverse, but not terribly. It's they seem to be Baldur's Gate natives, from what you can tell. The style of clothing worn underneath their cloaks appears to be very much the style of the city. They don't appear to be terribly well off, but they don't seem like the homeless population either. So they seem sort of, average citizens, aside from the fact that they are apparently in a cult.
Okay, I'm guessing offhand, would an elf be easier to break or humans, or is there like a stereotype on that, or are they average, or?
I have no stereotypes on whether or not it's easier to torture
Well,
information out of an elf or a human.
Stereotype's probably the wrong word, but like,
I don't have any kind of cultural or ancestry-based associations with regards to who would be easier to torture information out of.
Yeah, this is not like we're picking produce here. We're just gonna have to just grab one and go and leave the others to their fate.
Okay, so like tie up and gag the two humans and leave them on the roof, and then tie up and egg the elf and carry the elf off.
All right. Okay. Let's cut back to, I almost said Yuli. Mana. So you are maintaining your facade. Fynn, you are following a good distance behind, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So
Depending on the speed at which the other person is going, I may be going at a walking pace or a jogging pace.
the figure is not moving terribly quickly, just trying to stay roughly out of sight. So there's leap from one roof to the next, wait a few moments to make sure that, not too visible, not attracting too much attention while doing it. Continue.
I'll probably just nonchalantly walk down the street.
Yeah. The figure is checking to make sure that it's not followed, but fortunately you're walking far enough back that I don't think you have to worry about that too much. And finally what ends up happening is the figure lands at the docks, and you see him enter a small shop. You can see from the outside that the shop is named... One moment. Please tell me I spelled... Dang it, Control
Shop
F.
name is Un Momento.
No, for whatever reason, it's not... My search function is not working. I can't find it, even though I know what I'm looking for. There it is. Leaf's Prized Poultices. And it is, after a few moments of waiting, you see the figure leave the shop, no longer carrying mana.
Oh my god, he pawned
So mana?
off.
Well,
Sorry.
surely mana's conveying what's going on.
Yeah. As much as I can without
Mm-hmm.
giving up the facade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I imagine you could open your eyes a little bit.
Yeah, no, I probably vaguely saw half a name of the shop. So
I'll say this: as soon as you were inside, you had a good whiff of the place and knew oh yeah, this is an alchemy shop of some kind. So, you can what you hear while you're in the shop that you can sort of transfer to Fynn as you're walking is that this figure, the figure that grabbed you, is speaking with the shop owner and says, "Got another one for you. If you could store it in the back for us, we'll come back and pay your fee." And the shop owner seems to agree wholeheartedly, with a very firm reminder of, don't forget, you owe us around 400 gold for this month, and unlike my other family members, I don't keep tabs, so you'd best pay soon. And the figure seems a little unnerved by that and agrees that the shop owner, Leaf, will get his money soon. And then the shop owner, Mana, grabs your body and starts to drag it to the back of the shop, opening a door which leads to what you identify as a morgue.
oh, fun.
A morgue connected directly to the Chaunthir River. And you hear the shop owner sort of lean in as he's picking you up to place you on one of the tables to put into the wall. Luckily for you, Agatha's gone for the day, so I don't have to try and explain this nonsense, and she won't try to cut you up. And then Leaf will push the door shut, leaving you trapped in one of the morgue boxes.
I feel like that name sounds familiar, but I don't know why.
Which name?
Agatha.
Oh shoot, I said Agatha and that was not the name I meant to say. I apologize. Agnes. I saw AG and my brain filled it in for whatever reason the wrong way. Agnes.
Your brain has the same autocorrect my phone does.
Yeah, I won't lie, guys. I know it's a little bit early, but I think I might need to call it there. I'm not feeling fantastic.
It's okay.
That's fine.
Completely fine, my dude.
We did accomplish stuff.
Yeah, you
did.
you accomplished some stuff. You got some information, a little bit.
An hour and a half of fun and
Yeah,
beat up a few people.
Yoga
And-
got a superhero landing. I got to imagine eviscerating some cultists.
yeah, and then you got
And
put
you
in
got
a box.
trapped in a morgue.
And
I
got put in a
casually
box.
walked down a street.
Well, not every
Does-
session will be fantastic for everybody.
Does Mana
It's
have
fine.
ability to teleport out of box?
I mean,
Uh,
if she wants to, she could tell me to come get her out of the box. But also, I assume that those people will be back later, probably in the morning or the next night.
I have
to-
the ability to completely decimate this entire building.
Okay. Well, anyway.
What happened?
All right, so I should do an end stream thing. Goodness, my brain is not there.
It's okay.
Anywho, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it. If you want to see more stuff like this, feel free to visit twitch.tv/newbiespud, where I run a different game with these fine folk and also with Spud. I don't have a Patreon, but he does, so feel free to support him at patreon.com/newbiespud and join us next week for the Forgotten Ones, hopefully. And we will try to be back with session 4 of the Borrowers in 2 weeks. So, thanks for joining, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Uh,